What's up, guys? It's Olly Steele here from Monuments, and you're geeking out to Gear Gods. What's happening? I'm back. It's Olly again. Today we're going to look at the riff from the verse in Celeste. 1, 2, 3, 4. Here's the same thing slower. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so the tuning for this song is our lower 7-string variant. So it's identical to our B-flat tuning, but everything is down a whole tone. So you might want to consider using a set of 11s. That's what we do with a low 64. Otherwise, it's going to be a bit floppy, and you're probably not going to get that kind of snappy response that you're going to need. So low to high, it's G sharp, D sharp, G sharp, C sharp, D sharp, G sharp, C sharp. It's the same tuning we use for Jinn, Alchemist. This riff is based around the 3rd and 5th frets for the most part, apart from the run at the end, and it kicks off like this. So you have 3 instances of 3 to 5. The second time you hit the 5th fret, I tend to give it a little shake, which leads, and the third one leads into the runny bit, which is 6, 5, and 4 on the 2nd string, and then 5 on the 3rd string. So you have, after that's open 3 on the low string. And then you have open 1, and you slide from 1 to 5. So that goes. That's followed by the 6th fret on the 2nd string. We then accent 5 and 3 on the 2nd string. The root note that you pedal off of is the low string. So even though this is our root, I'm doing this. Sometimes. There's a thing that happens in Monuments sometimes. It gives you a bit more movement and you're not kind of anchored to one spot. And with the notes coming at you kind of fast, it doesn't really grey out the sound too much. So, useful one. It's 6, 5, and then 5 on the low string, my bad. So the next phrase is this. So you have 0, 3, 5. So 0 and 3 on the low string, 5 on the 2nd string. Open low string to open 3rd fret. Open low string, open 6th fret. And then the 5th fret, I believe. And then another variation of the same nose, which is 0, 3, 5 again. And then you have open 5 again. And then the final bit of the riffy part is it's fairly easy. You have 0, 3, 5, 0, 1, 3. And then only the 5 and the 3 are open notes on that 2nd string. And then we come up to the 8th fret for the long run. This one can be a bit tricky. So the run begins with a bunch of these, but you're at the 8th fret with it. So you have open 8, 10 on the 8 is on the low string and the 10 is on the 3rd string, sorry. And then you have 0, 9, 12, but on the 2nd string. Try not to make it suck like I just did. And then the third part is you have open 10, 12, and a slide to 14 on the 3rd and 4th strings. So altogether that's... and that then begins this kind of cluster chord thing. So this one's a bit weird. You're kind of sliding into the chord from the 14th. So you You can think of it as 14, 13, and 12 on consecutive strings. 4th string, 5th string, and 6th string. Open high string. You hammer on 14 with your pinky, and then the next note is you slide that up into the 15th fret. That bit's a little bit tricky. You run straight back down here to repeat all of the riffy stuff again the same way. The only difference is when you get to the chord just after the hammer on. The chord shape you have here, you slide that down to the 7th and 5th frets. And that's the only difference. For this riff, I just wanted to do something that was quite groovy, upbeat, techie as well. If you get too techie with stuff, it can kind of take away from the groove factor. That's why the licky bits at the end, because you have enough kind of head nodding stuff in the first 3/4 or whatever. Yeah, I also enjoy it when your ideas aren't rooted on the low string. I find like you get more creative and stuff, and you have to kind of search for neighboring stuff. So like, all of that stuff is me searching for different ways. So, because it's kind of the same information for the most part. Pitch-wise, it's not getting too crazy. But little things like when I slide from 1 to 5, it's like from the -6 to the 1 or whatever. Things like that. That's not an accident. I wanted it to not just be for the whole thing. So just branching out. If you learn the riff, you'll see I'm just kind of branching out for little different licks here and there. I try not to make it too repetitive and just make the phrasing of it a little bit different. I mean, I'm happy with how it turned out. So. This one is fun to play, but it takes a while to get it under your fingers. I still have a little moment when I get to that run where I'm like, I might not make this one. As with everything, just practice it slow, varying tempos, varying speeds, try and stay relaxed, and hopefully enjoy it.